I could tell it was still bothering
Was
you.
it that obvious? But I can handle these memories, but until I return to Cassiopeia, I'll never be able to put this to rest.
Let me help you.
I would like that. Actually, I need that. One problem, though. Pinpointing the crew's shuttle wreckage is going to be like trying to find a grain of salt in a sandbox. I think we need to start by locating my old campsite on Cassiopeia 1.
What happened to the Dauntless?
Shortly after I evacuated, I saw the ship come apart. The UC listed it as lost, so I assume the Dauntless was completely destroyed.
You lucky made it out safely.
Lucky. Compared to my crew, I hit the goddamn jackpot. Still, I'll never forget my finger hovering over that launch button. Would I launch safely or explode into a fireball? It turned out that my shuttle had just enough power to allow an emergency landing on the planet's surface.
It's impressive the soft landed after an emergency jettison. Piloting er det en ny greie jeg har fått.
I wouldn't call what I did a soft landing, but thank you all the same.
We need to get back there to face your damage.
That's what I was hoping. But I don't know the exact location of my survival campsite. For that, we are going to have to head to Mast and see if we can get the information from my old friend, Admiral Logan.
Okay. I'm sensing tension between you and Admiral Logan.
Your instincts are right on target. Logan and I butted heads more than once during my time with the Navigator Corps. We've never seen eye to eye. Look, I hope this isn't asking too much. Last thing I want to do is drag you into some kind of personal crusade.
Your well-being is important to me.
That's why I'm desperate for your help. Truth is, I'm scared. When I set foot on Cassiopeia, I don't know if I'll be able to handle what I find.
Det var så bra,
If I
alltså.
begin to fall apart, I need someone I can trust to hold me together.
I got your back.
I know you will. You've always been there when I've needed your help. Why you continue to support me, I'll never understand.
Hun er jo sjefen, da. Flirt.
I don't know what to say. I've been so busy searching the stars for answers. I've overlooked.
Oh boy, nå skjer det, ass.
Something I've seriously considered sharing with you for a long time.
Oh no.
Not ready. Not yet.
Don't. You've been critical of yourself far too long, Sarah.
You're right. I have. Hey, anyway, I've taken up enough of your time. I know you have a lot to do. I really appreciate your offer to visit Cassiopeia. Hopefully, it'll bring me the closure that I've needed for far too long.
Hell yeah. Non-undismissible. Ok, så hun kan ikke. Det er greit. Så må jeg ha på meg den der NASA-uniformen igjen. Kan ikke gå rundt med hazmat-suit. Oi, jeg har fått operative greier. Sure. Ser det jævlig ut, man.
Did Masako send you to try and convince me to acquire Infinity Ltd?
I think we both know that's not going to work.
If you acquire Infinity Ltd to save jobs, it's good public perception.
Our public perception is good enough. If you ask me, reaching out to save Infinity just makes us look weak. The internal neuroamp gives us the power to crush our competitors, not take them under our wing. This is exactly why Masako's time as CEO is finished.
I'm already one step ahead of you.
Good. If you use that neuroamp wisely, it will guarantee that Infinity gets shut down.
Manipulation. Sarah kommer ikke til å like det, altså.
Well,
dislike that.
Oh
boy.
We do gain a wider customer base, which means higher profits. You're oddly right about this one.
Shit.
I guess you are worth keeping around. As long as everyone has
All flirting av forgjeves.
in mind, this should make for an interesting meeting.
Speaking of, I'm planning on bringing up the internal neuroamp as an issue in the meeting.
An issue? That would be a foolish move. Dalton and Alexis are the only two against it. You'd never get the rest to shut it down.
Manipulation. The internal neuroamp is dangerous. That take all the spells trouble for you. Den der kan hun dislike også, men.
Dangerous
Nei,
indeed.
for hun er på begge
For
sider
all
av
I
den
know,
greia der.
you're using it right now. The irony. Perhaps I didn't see it earlier, but you're right. The moment a competitor reverse engineers Vina's work, it'll be chaos. The last thing I want is to have my brains scrambled because some engineer didn't do their due diligence. Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have a lot of preparations to make.
Nei. Men jeg tror hun der er den vanskeligste å få med, så det er greit å bruke manipulation på hun, kanskje. Yo.
Hey there. And how's my favorite patient doing? Not seeing any temporal memory flashes or losing time, I hope.
No, I'm used to waking up in strange places.
Reminds me of my undergrad days. I mean, I assume you're joking, right? I'll have to get that documented and we'll definitely want to run a few tests if not. So, tell me what you think of the neuroamp.
We know this tech is dangerous. No one should have this sort of power.
I hope you're not actually suggesting that the technology I spent years working on and perfecting never sees the light of day. This is groundbreaking work. My life's work.
You're a scientist, hear me out. Just look at it from every angle.
Fine. Make your case.
Okay. Backfire's reputation will be ruined. Vina, as the sole owner of the internal Europe, and know exactly how dangerous it is.
Well, perhaps I really do need more data.
A device like this could cause the next colony war.
I know you're trying to scare me, but it's not going to work.
Okay. Da må jeg. People will reverse engineer your work. We're going to have a lot more casualties like in the clinic.
After that
Wow.
SSNN broadcast, I can't imagine anyone's going to try something like that again anytime soon. I hate to stop you,
Bitch!
but I just can't be swayed on this. Besides, Masako, Alexis, Genevieve, they know how to handle this. So the next question is, what will the fate of Infinity Ltd be?
If we acquire them, it will be fun to see how they try to recreate their work.
Exactly. Not that I want to gloat over it. Maybe just a little. Okay, so DeMarcus and I have really been looking forward to it, so fingers crossed this deal goes through. Well, this has certainly been the most interesting conversation of my day. All we can do now is look forward to the meeting, right? See you in there.
Ok, da har vi 3 av... Vi trenger bare 1 til, faktisk. Men vi trenger 1 til på den for internal neuroamp
Just
greia.
the person I wanted to see. I want to get all the details locked down for this meeting, and I believe you to be one of the best sources available.
Good, I want to speak to you about the meeting.
An efficient exchange, then. You've had the chance to encounter members of Infinity LTD throughout your assignments here. Do you think they're worth redemption? And why?
The majority of those workers are innocent. They didn't know what was going on.
Oh, I didn't mean in regards to Drexler's actions. More in the sense of should a superior company like Ryujin make room for so many potentially lackluster employees?
Sounds like you already made your decision, so why even ask me?
Perhaps I wanted to see if I could be convinced otherwise. It's easy to say it's the right thing to do for someone in your position. But for me, Infinity LTD is a huge financial unknown. It's high risk versus mediocre reward.
Fine, just screw thousands out of a job. I'm not even sure why I even thought you care, blah, blah.
Your disdain is noted. And perhaps you thought I'd care because you're hopeful. Next question. What is your opinion on how Masako handled the mole situation?
We caught them all, so I said it was a success.
Any insight into what made it successful?
Masako and Dalton already had a plan in place to uncover them all, and it worked.
Being prepared for anything is a great asset, one that Masako excels at. I appreciate the insight. I suppose I should ask if there's anything I can do for you, considering how helpful you've been.
What are your thoughts? The internal ramp, tech like that is dangerous and should be banned.
It's only dangerous to those who can't afford one. Hence the added motivation that will bolster sales.
Manipulation. Fine, once the lawsuit hits, you'll be drowning in compensation payouts.
It's possible. But with Alexis and Genevieve driving the restrictions and presentation of such a product, it's also highly unlikely.
Fan, liker
This has
ingen
been
av disse
rather
her.
enlightening for me. I appreciate the time.
Motherfucker. Yo, yo.
Is Masako checking up on me to make sure I'm on her side?
Maybe, that depends on whose side you're on.
Well, you can let Masako know to rest easy. It just so happens that her agenda lines up with mine. We just need to grab Infinity LTD while it's got the public's full attention. I'm all about free PR, especially when it's painting us in a good light.
Coming to the rescue for all those innocent workers will really look good for us.
I'm sure I can squeeze enough goodwill out of this to last us at least a year.
Nice. You know, if you really want to keep Ryujin in the public's good graces, there's one thing you to consider.
All right. I suppose you've earned the right to voice your opinion after everything you've done, qualified or not. So let's hear it.
The internal ramp, the research should be banned.
The possible backlash on tech like this is not lost on me. However, the internal neuroamp will define the next era of tech, with Ryujin at the forefront. It's not an opportunity you just walk away from.
Manipulation.
You're right. The moment you violate your customers' trust, there's a good chance they'll never come back. Even worse, you push them into the hands of your competitors. Well, it seems your talents really do stretch beyond just being an operative.
Jeg trenger 2 til mot neurampen.
Maybe I'll even consult you on future endeavors.
If only there were more hours in the day. Great.
Kan man flytte til en annen planet da? Da er det mer timer i
If you
dagen.
need something, make it quick.
Are you not a fan of inquiring
You are
LTD?
correct. I've every reason to believe that Infinity Ltd is the Pandora's box of corporations.
Maybe the leader of Constellation could help change your mind.
I'm not sure how the leader of an exploration club would change my mind. I appreciate the flattery. And what sort of benefits do you see in a risk like this? I see now where your experience comes into play. From a financial and marketing viewpoint, you're right. And maybe I'm being more than a little selfish by focusing on my own department. And you're right. My legal team is more than prepared to handle any surprise situations that might crop up.
If you want a real legal nightmare, I'd say internal neuramp fits that bill.
Don't even get me started. First off, if I find out you used that device on me, I will tie you up in court on whatever charges I can conjure for the rest of your life. Second, that tech is one major human rights violation that no legal team wants to fight.
Nice.
I'll do whatever I can to make sure it's either severely delayed or collects dust in storage.
I couldn't agree more. It should be completely banned from the settled systems.
Agreed.
Well, I'm both glad and surprised to hear the one person who has one say that. Masako's lucky to have you at her disposal, even if you are a continual thorn in my side. You may be the greatest asset, aside from the internal neuroamp, that Ryujin has.
Thank you, thank you.
This exchange has been surprisingly insightful. But now, I really do need to get back to my notes.
Ok, hun der var easy, men jeg må få den siste personen her on board også, med mot internal
This
neuramp.
meeting should prove to be very interesting. I assume Masako briefed you on her preferred outcome.
Board wants to acquire Infinity LTD.
That blasted tech.
Indeed. That technology shouldn't be used for such nefarious purposes, or in fact, any purposes at all.
If it were up to me, I'd have shut down Project Dominion a long time ago. I knew it was a grave security risk. And look what happened.
We saw firsthand how dangerous that tech is. It should never go to the market.
You read my mind.
Okay,
Let's just
men
hope
da er det greit da.
Masako and the others see it that way. Plus, if we vote to acquire Infinity Ltd, we're about to add a significant workload onto my team. The last thing I want to deal with are any more incidents this new neuroamp might cause.
The acquisition is worth the work. I know your team can handle it.
I imagine we're looking at months of work. Infinity Ltd is obviously not known for their security. I only hope that Masako and the others will be patient with the process. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some preparations to make.
Ok, easy. Jeg tror vi greide det.
Maru's termination of employment at this meeting, so I need to have security ready to escort her off the premises.
Nice. Det er en meeting. Kan ikke ha på meg den der drakta her da, ass. Den er så stygg. Doktordrakta. Jeg er member of the board, ass. Oi, jævlig.
All right, everyone. As you all know, we've successfully exposed Infinity Ltd's botched human trials and murder for hire through SSNN. The public is demanding their leadership, namely Lucas Drexler, face trial. and he's probably writing his resignation as we speak. Ryujin will be launching a statement, but I believe now is the perfect time to acquire Infinity Ltd.
The announcement would garner public faith in the Ryujin.
Believe it or not, I agree. The acquisition has risks, and it's going to create a lot of work for all of us. But the overall payoff will be worth it.
My team is prepared to handle the influx. We're more than happy to rid ourselves of a rival.
Arguments?
Infinity Ltd. could be the Pandora's box of financial and legal risks. I simply cannot support an acquisition.
I think what we're all overlooking is what led us to this situation to begin with. Yes, our security was compromised. But considering Dalton was hired by Masako, the issue obviously starts at the top. In fact, I propose that Masako be removed from CEO altogether.
Ularu, this isn't a line you want to cross.
And considering you're the mole, if anyone's going to be removed from power, it's going to be you.
Hold up. Are you saying you lied to us?
Dalton, the last meeting we had, you distinctly said Imogene was the mole, and she'd been dealt with.
Imogene is innocent. She played a vital role in helping expose Ularu.
Do you even have any proof to back up this outrageous claim?
Of course we do. The malicious code you hid on this slate to upload incriminating evidence against Masako onto Lucas Drexler's computer.
To put it bluntly, Ularu, you're fired. Security will hold you in your office until a proper exit interview can be done.
This isn't right. I should at least have the opportunity to resign.
And allow you to still be marketable to a competitor? I don't think so. This may be news to me, and I will be reviewing the evidence closely. But this isn't something you just get to walk away from.
I'm sorry, Ularu.
Security, escort Miss Chen to her office and see that she stays put.
You'll regret this. All of you.
I believe the only regret would be trusting you to begin with.
All right, back to business. All in favor of acquiring Infinity Ltd?
Aye.
All against?
Nay.
Good. Alexis, start drawing up the necessary documentation. Anyone have anything else they'd like to bring up?
The internal neuroamp is too dangerous to market.
The internal neuroamp is a key component of Ryujin Industries' success for the next 10 years, if not more. Why would we shelve it after we've finally perfected it?
The moment the public learns about it, no one will trust anyone anymore, especially Ryujin.
The moment the public gets wind of the true capabilities of this tech, we're gonna suffer severe backlash.
Very well. All in favor of shelving Project Dominion?
Aye.
All against?
Nay.
We'll start up discussions on how to handle Project Dominion in the future. In the meantime, at least the only person to have one is our own operative. Internal neuroamp research will continue. The dangers have been noted.
What?
And don't worry, I'm certain between Alexis and Genevieve, any legal or moral issues will be taken care of by the time it goes to market. Any other matters to bring forth? None? This concludes our order of business for today.
God
So
damn.
much work to do.
You operatives really will wear anything.
So, Infinity Ltd. learned a lesson the hard way, and we exposed the traitor among us. You've proven yourself to be quite the asset here at Ryujin.
If that's your way of saying thank you, you're welcome.
I suppose it is. Gratitude isn't something you typically hear these days in the corporate world. I truly appreciate the work you put into exposing Ularu. No operative has ever had to investigate our own to the extent that you did. I can imagine it may have been a lot of pressure, considering you were fairly new at the time.
Yes, I'm proud of you as well. Ularu needed to be brought down. If you wouldn't have stopped her, who knows what she would have done next.
No pressure at all. These are the types of jobs I live for.
I hope that enthusiasm
Oh,
stays
shit.
with you for the foreseeable future.
Hun likte ikke det.
Imogene's instincts were right about you. Now, as promised, I have your bonus. I hope you'll find it appropriate for all you've done. And I'm promoting you to senior operative. You've more than earned it.
Thank you.
It's well deserved. As for the details, I think someone back on the operations floor would prefer to explain those to you.
Complete executive level.
We should have a talk when
Ja,
you have the time,
jo.
of course. Handling those tricky decisions regarding Ryujin must have been difficult. In fact, I'm amazed you were able to deal with them at all. Those types of corporations remind me why I never ventured into business. I can't stand that way of life.
I couldn't agree more. It's disgusting.
Really? It surprises me you'd say that. Take what Ryujin's doing, for example. Based on your recommendation, they'll be continuing their work on the neuroamp technology. And now you're going to stand there and pretend you find that type of decision to be
Jeg prøvde å gjøre motsatt.
Please. You mean, other than the fact that it can turn a free-willed human being into a mindless automaton? For you to even ask me that question means you're completely blind to the implications of that horrid device.
Non-lethal way to stop your enemy.
When used properly, yes. But imagine that technology in the wrong hands. Imagine the awful things you could force people to do. It's almost too horrible to contemplate.
I'm sorry, I should have thought of the repercussions. Faen, jeg prøvde jo...
With any luck, perhaps Ryujin will come to its own senses one day and realize what they're doing is wrong.
Prøvde jo å stoppe det egentlig, men jeg gjorde det tydeligvis feil.
Pray that I'm right.
Ok, hvor skal vi nå? Er vi helt ferdige her, liksom? Nei, det er vi ikke. Jo. Det er vi. Helt ferdige her, liksom. Med hele questline.
Don't worry. When it comes to the internal neuroamp, I'll make damn sure we get it right.
If you had set your own morals aside to use the internal neuroamp, you could have easily swayed that vote.
Men faen, jeg trodde jeg gjorde riktig. Da må jeg jo... Nei, fuck it. Det får bare være sånn. Ja, ja. Ok, jeg skal faktisk prøve å se om det lille jeg har fått av damage og sånn hjelper. Men jeg tviler.
My crew position.
Today's not your day.
Nope. Ok, nå driter vi i det. Faen, ass. Fighting i space er helt jævlig enda. Nei, jeg har med missions, ok. Glem det. Drar vi hit da. Paradiso.
I wonder how many life forms are roaming this planet. Time to find out.
Patronage is much appreciated. Is there any assistance I can offer you today?
I noticed you arriving at port shortly after I did. Something's been bothering me, and I've been dying to ask another guest.
Okay.
You told us there was a very active meteor shower, which is why we had to divert our flight path coming in for our landing. But I haven't seen a single shooting star since I've been here. That's weird, right?
Came a different way on my own ship.
Oh, that's fair. I'll just have to ask around. The view coming in is so beautiful. You should really take the shuttle here sometime. Unless, of course, they've done away with that flight path for some reason. I should hope not. Anyway, enjoy your stay. Sorry for bothering you. Actually, a question. Usually when I come, the shuttle takes a survey.
Ja, det er sant det. Jeg må hente sverdet mitt. Bare husker ikke hvor jeg putta det. Putta det her, kanskje? Nei. Her. Den, er det ikke det? Hell yeah! Jeg må ha den på der. Og så kan jeg ta... Den der kan jeg ta på 9'eren.
I can't believe I get to stand near you, breathing the same air.
That's for you. If you don't mind, I'd like to speak to Admiral Logan sooner rather than later.
Okay.
Admiral Logan's office shouldn't be terribly far. Let's go.
Ok, vi kan egentlig gjøre det, da. Admiral Logan, men er det på her? Nei. Der er den. Ok. What? Er det ikke på planeten her? Ja, da blir det ikke nå. Blir det neste stopp. Yomi.
Welcome to Paradiso. Jiro Sugiyama at your service. Do you have a security concern, or is there something else I can help you with?
I'm here about the distress call you sent.
Ah, yes, of course. I'm glad you came. As you can imagine, we're in a bit of a predicament. Under normal circumstances, we would not enlist outside help in this manner. But this is a matter we can't afford to worry our guests about. As such, we need to handle this discreetly. Failure on your part to do so could have severe consequences. So, before we proceed, can you swear not to discuss this with anyone else unless explicitly directed to do so?
Yeah, I agree. Just hurry up and tell me what you want already.
I understand you're eager to get into it, but if you're unwilling to take this seriously, I can foresee problems in your future. Not too long ago, a strange and enormous ship appeared in Parima space. It is now locked in orbit around our planet. So far, it doesn't seem to be hostile, but any attempts to communicate with it have been in vain, so we're unsure of the ship's intentions.
Seems like a delicate situation. Go on.
It is. Whatever's going on, we need to approach this with care. First, see if you have more luck communicating with them. If not, you may have to try boarding. Whatever you do,
Nice.
it's important to remember to seek diplomacy with who or whatever's on board.
Kanskje
As soon
aliens?
as you have any more information, report to Oliver Campbell. He's the CEO of Paradiso. All formal decisions will need to go through him, and he'll have your pay. Good luck.
Nei. Interessant.
Lift off when you are, Captain.
Take off.
Escape trajectory plotted. Stay in orbit or jump. Your call.
Unidentified ship. Hail. Hello, this is Tim. I'm gonna attempt the docking procedure. Oh boy.
And we're locked in.
Picked up something you might be interested in.
Okay.
If you don't mind, I'd like to speak to Admiral Logan sooner rather than
Do
later.
you have anything interesting for me?
I certainly do. It's all yours. Admiral Logan's office shouldn't be terribly far. Let's go.
Stay alert. Weapons at the ready.
You're human.
Of course I'm human. I take it you were expecting something else.
It's just that we weren't expecting to find life, let alone human life out here. We thought we were the only ones to leave Earth.
What?
Imagine being cut off from humankind for that long. How terribly frightening that would be.
Perhaps we should greet our guests.
Of course. Manners. I'm Captain Diana Brackenridge. This is Security Officer Bomani Reader. And this is Dr. Mabuti da Costa, one of our elders.
A pleasure to meet you.
What is this ship?
You've come aboard the Earth colony ship, Constant. Generations ago, we set forth from the planet Earth with the mission of colonizing a new habitable world, in the spirit of our ancestors nearly a millennium ago.
Oh, det er sånn generation ship. I'm Tim, I'm here to help.
I see.
As you may have presumed, we're in a bit of a bind. Our ship has finally completed its near 200-year journey from Earth, only to find our new home seemingly colonized by, well, we don't know. Communications haven't been successful, so your arrival is fortuitous. Perhaps you'd be willing to act as a middle person between ourselves and the others.
How did you survive 200 years?
Well, the short answer is, we didn't. It's a generation ship, which is to say that most of us lived long, happy lives on board and passed our mission down to our children. It was never intended that the original crew would make it to our destination. The goal was always the preservation of the human race above all else. Though, it would seem that was perhaps a bit presumptuous.
I would love to know more, but maybe we should get away from this airlock first.
Oh yes, of course. Where are my manners? Now then, please follow me. There's much to discuss first. We'll speak more on the matter once we reach the bridge.
Aye.
Dr. DeCosta, you may return to your quarters if you wish.
Thank you, Captain.
I will follow you to the bridge, ma'am.
De har våpen og sånn fra gamle
I do
dager.
not believe we have need to fear our guest, but I'll allow it if you insist. Welcome to the Earth colony ship Constant. In the early 2100s, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, researched a number of scientific scenarios: climate change, asteroid impact, nuclear war, global pandemic, and more. Each scenario showed the likelihood of an extinction-level event to be within 50 years. He fully believed Earth was destined to be rendered uninhabitable. We've always assumed that's what happened.
Never
So,
seen a ship
he gathered the
like yours
best
before.
and brightest he
Then
could
again, I
find,
haven't seen
built
any
the
ships
Constant,
before you
and set a course for this planet here. We were told that it was the largest, most advanced ship ever constructed on Earth at the time. If you can believe, entire generations have been born, lived, and died on this ship. It really goes to show that there are no limits to human ingenuity and perseverance.
Jeg tror ikke akkurat det er måten å gjøre det på, men det er jo en måte folk tenker på.
So, here we are. Let's talk.
I have to say, with technology this outdated, I'm amazed this vessel is able to navigate at all. It's almost like walking through a museum.
Sounds like you could use some help with the situation here.
Well, as I mentioned, we've been unsuccessful in communications with anyone up until you arrived, though not for lack of trying. But since you're asking, maybe you'd be willing to be a sort of diplomat between us and them as we attempt to resolve our situation. Does that sound agreeable to you?
Yes, the people of Paradiso want the same, I'll help.
Ah, so they have a name. Paradiso. And it sounds promising that they sent you here to speak with us. You see, we intended to settle here, but we assumed that they intend to defend their claim given their presence here. We'd like you to go speak to them on our behalf and help us negotiate a solution, preferably one that favors us.
Why not just find another planet?
Based on the data our ancestors had when they launched this endeavor, it was determined that this was the perfect planet for us. Even if we had another viable candidate planet, we lack the resources to get there. And as you know, it took us 200 years to get here. Our people have no desire to go back to drifting the stars so their children's children can possibly settle on an inferior planet.
I can do it. I'll try, but diplomacy may require some compromise.
Yes, of course. But we need to start from a firm position and state our goal. If need be, we can compromise, work out a mutually beneficial deal or some such, but initially I'd like you to be firm with them and convince them to leave the planet to us. Let me know how they respond, and we'll go from there.
Porima 2 is huge. Why not settle on the other side of it, away from the others?
We thought about it, but it simply won't do. I need to think about the distant future of our people. Sure, our first settlement may be small, but our predecessors dreamt of our new civilization spreading across the globe. That will be difficult if someone else plans to do the same. While we're not completely close to the idea of sharing, it's much easier if we have complete domain over this world.
Now, are out of your mind? There's no way they'll go for that.
I'm serious. We have a rightful claim to this land, and I intend to fight for it. But as you're currently our only hope, perhaps you'll honor my request and give it your all, for the sake of some very weary travelers who have come a very long way to be here. Thank you.
Jeg lurer på om det mulig å overtale hele planeten til å bare stikke fra planeten, liksom, og gi dem her den. Det hadde vært litt sjukt, ass. Der kan de bare fast-travele. Ja, det kan jeg ikke. Hvordan kom jeg ut? Classroom. Jeg har gått meg vill. Ok, her det. Hva faen. Må ut igjen. Kan jeg gå rett til cockpiten i stedet. Faen er den? Der. Han var borte der i sted, nærmere.
Paradiso is absolutely beautiful. Can you possibly imagine a more tranquil place for a